Hello and welcome to this New Year's edition of the Culture Report. I'm Laura Casillas. The National Western Stock Show begins this week. It's a Colorado tradition that began in 1906. For 16 days, the part rodeo, part livestock show, and part fair brings hundreds of thousands of people to the state. Earlier today, I sat down with Luis Canela, who is the official Spanish voice of the show. Welcome.
Laura, muy buenos días.
Buenos dias. I'm so excited to have you here today.
It's an honor to work with you. I mean, we've known each other for so many years. Congratulations with this beautiful show. You're not only talking about what's happening in our community, but our culture.
Oh, absolutely. And
beautiful.
I was like, who better than Luis to come and talk to us about us?
Well, thank you.
Especially the Mexican Extravaganza is the one that I'm really excited about. I wish I had my hat today, but it's not here. But you do, so tell us more about it.
It's fiesta time at the National Western Stock Show, and I am honored also to be the official Spanish voice. I have been for many, many years. I've been with the Extravaganza Mexicana for more than 30 years, and we are talking about two of the fastest hours of entertainment that we have at the National Western. If you love horses, you cannot miss this show. What this is basically a little bit of a history, a lot of Hollywood, a lot of Broadway, and at the same time, beautiful mariachi music, all put together. As you know, the horse was introduced to this continent by the Spaniards, and for many years, only entitled Spaniards were able to ride the horses. But when the ranches, haciendas, grew, they needed the help of the indigenous Indians. And when this happened, the competition started. We're talking about who's the best in riding, who's the fastest, who can handle the cattle, who can move, who has not only a great technique, but at the same time that speed to be considered el número uno. This was hacienda against hacienda, and that competition eventually, after many, many, many years, became the American Rodeo. Many of the terminology that we have in the American Rodeo is actually the charros, la charreada, the Mexican version of the original rodeo. Chaps, for instance, is a Mexican word. Chaparras, also the name of our American rodeo in Spanish is rodeo, which is
that I knew.
Roundup. So very interesting.
Yeah, the Escaramuza is usually my favorite part of that show. And yeah, the history of it, I'm sure you know a lot more, but just watching those girls at breakneck speeds, just going in the dresses, side saddle. I love that.
8 beautiful ladies, 8 outstanding, beautiful horses, and they are side saddle. In other words, both of their legs are on one side of the horse. Can you imagine that velocity, the extreme turns they have to do? And then they barely miss each other. Incredible movements. And the dress is the Adelita dress. This is the dress that was worn by the Mexican female general, Adelita, who was the girlfriend of Pancho Villa.
It goes all the way back to that.
The Mexican Revolution. You know, the funny thing, and that many people don't know, that the charro outfits in the Adelita dress are actually the Mexican military uniform. So that's probably why if you ever notice, they never take off their hat. It's because it's a military uniform.
Who knew?
Yeah,
See, there's so much background to it. Well, so, Luis, I know you're telling me a lot of all this history, and I know you know a lot more, but I want to know why is this so important for people to go see these shows and having them, not just the whole rodeo, it has so many shows and, themes, but why is it so important to have the Mexican Extravaganza?
This is one of the main attractions of the National Western Stock Show, and it has been sold out for many, many years. Again, we're talking more than 30 years. We're talking about the history of the sport, the history of the Mexican Revolution, how the horses became so important for our Western history. And then we also travel to the southwest of the United States and we talk about the different cities. For instance, Santa Fe was actually where the Indians, the cowboys, and also the Mexicanos came into trade. And we talk about that history. So it's very interesting that the music, the mariachi, is usually the one that is always accompanying. A side note real fast about the mariachi is in our life, it's part of our lifestyle. They're not only there when you like a girl, you go and you sing a song to her, she opens the window, we've seen that.
And we cry to it too, you know. Too.
She accepts to be his girlfriend, there's a party. Then they decide to wed. There's another party. They have a baby, and they have a party. She turns 15. They have a quinceañera, another party. And after many years, unfortunately, sometimes, not all the time, but there's a divorce. There's a party. So there's always a party. The mariachi is always there. Interesting is that the show at the National Western Stock Show works with national acts, the best equestrian acts. It is an exhibition. There is no competition. 2 hours nonstop. And the narration that I do along with a guest, and this time I'm working with Scott, one of the best rodeo announcers. And I mean, it's just act after act after act. A beautiful lady from San Antonio, Gloria, comes in to sing a couple of songs. After that, we have local folkloric dancers. Oh boy, you have to see all this. There's so many things to see. And every year, there's a different act. So,
wonderful.
And the reason that it is so important to our community, it's educational. It is a great opportunity to see these beautiful horses and also los charros, which in English, cowboys.
Love that.
Los jinetes, they ride cowboy style. Here we have in the American rodeo, 6 seconds. In Mexico, as long as the animal keeps trying to buck you off, it's a totally different sport, but at the same time, it is wonderful.
Oh, Luis, this sounds fantastic. So I do want people to go check it out. Thank you so much for coming in and talking about it. I'm so excited that you're in this role, and I'm sure
you.
You're seeing a lot of more people probably going now that they can hear it in their language as well. So
Así es.
yes, well, thank you so much, Luis, for doing that with us, and I can't wait to go check it out myself.
Muchísimas gracias y una cordial invitación a todo el mundo. A special invitation to come out and have fun. It's fiesta time.
Absolutely. The National Western Stock Show kicks off January 4th with the Stock Show Parade. The Mexican Extravaganza Rodeo is on Sunday, January 7th at 2 and 6:30 p.m. Tickets to that and all other events are available on the National Western Stock Show website. Today, we also want to take a look back at some of our favorite conversations over the past year. After the 2023 Grammy Awards, our host, Ashton Brooks, thought Beyoncé was snubbed after Harry Styles won the Album of the Year awards. Host and Harry Styles fan Alexia Carrasco wasn't thrilled with the blame being placed on the pop star. Take a look.
Album of the Year. Let's get into it. Harry Styles won. How do you feel? I want to ask Ashton.
So, the Grammys are decided by a group of peers. So it's not so much the organization that we think of making this decision. It's a group of people's peers. I thought it was disrespectful, and I think Beyonce should never ever attend the Grammys again.
Oh,
and waste her time. So this is the fourth, I believe, time she was nominated in this award, and they didn't give it to her. And her albums have been groundbreaking, going back to her self-titled album, and they didn't give it to her then. When she set the trend for dropping surprise albums. I don't know. I just thought it was disrespectful.
But I think everyone's blaming Harry Styles, and I think that's unfair.
I'm
no,
not
you
blaming
should not
Harry.
blaming him.
We're not blaming Harry. It's not his fault.
Yeah.
It's not his fault.
Because he got up there and said that.
But I don't think he meant
People
that.
He said though.
I wish you would have
did not-
specified what he meant when he said people like me. This usually.
But I feel like he says that every night on his tour. I saw him a few weeks ago. He says it every night.
What does that mean though?
I don't think you know anything about Harry Styles. You don't know anything about where his career started from.
But to see a category where a black woman hasn't won in a very long time,
But you should not be blaming the artist. That's the thing.
But
blaming the artist.
I'm holding him accountable for what he said. He got up there and said that people like him don't win awards like this. And I was like, well, what does that mean? Yeah. What does that mean?
In June, a video spreading misinformation about the meaning of the Progress Pride flag went viral. Host Jamal Simon debunked the fake news and explained the real symbolism behind the flag.
For black people, this is supposed to be for brown people. But these colors right here seem to be a little strange. And this goes into what's called the minor attracted person or youth attracted person, pedophile flag.
Girl, who made that up? As Pride Month continues, so does the spread of misinformation regarding queer people. So as you saw in that viral video, people are claiming that a section of the Pride flag represents people who have an attraction to minors. And this back here is the flag in question. But to really give you a full scope of what this flag represents, we have to throw it all the way back to 1978. So that's when Gilbert Baker created the original Pride flag. So this is the one that's probably most recognizable. Each color stands for something different, but as a whole, it represents hope. So 2 decades later, Monica Helms designed the first transgender flag. The pink is supposed to represent, you know, colors that are traditionally associated with females, and the blue is the same for boys. Now the white in the middle is supposed to represent intersex people or people that exist outside of the binary, like non-binary people. So fast forward to today, the Progress Pride flag. This was introduced back in 2018. So as you can see, it includes the original Pride flag, the transgender Pride flag, and we have some new additions right here. That's the black and brown stripe. So these represent the black and brown, you know, marginalized communities, people of color. So the black also has a double meaning. It also represents people that we lost during the AIDS crisis or people that are living with HIV and AIDS today and the prejudice that comes with it. So like stories like these, they really do negatively impact the queer community. So I really do implore you all to do your research. Don't just rely on a TikTok. If you really want to be informed on a topic, you know, do some homework from a reliable source.
Just before Cinco de Mayo, we took our cameras to the Metropolitan State University campus to quiz students on the holiday. These are some of the responses we got. We have Cinco de Mayo coming this week. Yay! And we actually, and in many places across the United States, people are already preparing for the big party. But even though it's a tradition celebrated long ago, many people don't know its meaning. So we took to the streets to test people's knowledge on Cinco de Mayo with a little trivia. Let's take a look.
The Battle of Buena Vista.
Buena Vista?
Palo Alto.
I think it was Puebla. I would have guessed Alamo. What do you want? You said Puebla? I said Puebla. We're gonna go with Puebla. Let's go!
Mexican Independence Day.
Mexican Independence Day. That's what I thought too.
Mexican Independence Day.
There you go, girl. All right.
I'm between Mexico and France right now. I don't exactly know. I want to say Mexico.
I want to say French.
Do you?
I want to say the U.S.
Here in the U.S.? I'm pretty sure it's like the U.S. for whatever reason. Yeah.
It probably is the U.S. You just go U.S.
Yeah, U.S.
Let's go to U.S.
Hooray.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go with Mexico. Or is it U.S.?
U.S.
Oh, okay. Wow. Wow.
The 5th of May.
May 5th.
Yeah.
Let's go. Cinco de Mayo.
What date is Cinco de Mayo? I have no idea. Bro, really? I don't.
I'm going to say May 5th.
Everybody is so good at this.
I'm so glad.
I couldn't even tell you the day Christmas is. I couldn't even tell you what day Christmas is on. Can you repeat the question? What day is Cinco de Mayo on?
I'm gonna say 5th of May.
Okay. On the 5th? It's in the question. De Mayo, I don't know.
Oh, that's a tough one. I don't know. I think it's May 5th.
The 5th of May. The 5th of May. Okay. Cinco de Mayo. I didn't know Mayo was May in Spanish.
I love it.
Yes. Thank you for having us. Yes, I did my best.
You guys did awesome. You guys did awesome.
It was rough. A lot of people were like really worried because they didn't know the history. But for anybody that doesn't know, it's not Mexican Independence Day.
So explain it to us.
So in short, the Mexican militia beat the French. They went in and invaded Mexico because they were collecting debts. And although the Mexican, army was a lot smaller, they did win. And so that's what we celebrate. This was in Puebla, Mexico, which is where they actually do celebrate, not throughout Mexico.
Yeah, that was one of the questions. When she was like, where is it most widely celebrated? And everybody's like, Mexico, maybe? Which, I mean, I get it.
That's what your first thought would be.
It is.
Well, some said France. I was like, oh my God.
I know, they said that. I was like, whoa.
I think they thought we were trying to trip them up. But I mean, I'm so happy that they were willing to do it because, it's always a learning experience. They learned something new. I'm sure they'll remember it now. So thank y'all for helping us out.
Thanks so much for joining us today. We'll see you next week for the first new episode of the year.